What's up, everybody? Welcome back. 1 second as I have to get everything set up here and going. What's that? Oh, Facebook. Motherfuckers. All right. Just gonna do a little bit of this real quick. I got you. Welcome back, Mom. Well, we are back. That was fun. Let's not try that again.
Put that one on the list of non-players.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Facebook. I didn't want to listen to Supertramp anymore anyway.
Yeah, they weren't amazing, awesome, and
yeah,
excellent.
They weren't such a great band. Like
they didn't make me feel more than Taylor Swift.
Right? Sorry, geez Louise.
Not sorry, Taylor Swift.
Sorry, not sorry. Supertramp's still a great band, Facebook.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that. I'm sorry that you're not as good of a band as Supertramp is.
Yeah. Never will, never will.
Never will be. All right. I'm going to play a real quick song, and then we'll dive into this day in history. We'll just go with this one because this is a short one.
I guess I let my own self down, thinking that you come around. I got better things to do. You won't catch me feeling blue, not over you.
Turn the shit up. Turn the shit up. Got to turn the shit up. Turn the shit up. Got to turn the shit up. Turn the shit up. Got to turn the shit up. Turn the shit up. Got
Strong and tall.
All right. This day in history for August 11th.
Always get it. I was like, something's not quite right.
Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History.
Oh, sorry.
I'm taking a day off from writing, recording, and editing a new episode for you today, but fear not. I found one for August 11th from a previous year and dusted it off. The audio seemed a little echoey to me, so I ran it through an app that hopefully will enhance the sound a bit. I thank you so much for your loyalty and hope you enjoy what I have to tell you for August 11th. Alrighty, on with it now. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for August 11th. August 11th is the 223rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 224th in leap years, with 142 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is carpe diem.
Hey.
Carpe diem comes to us from Latin, and of course the literal translation of it means seize the day. It means to make the most of the present time. And with that, we're going to start with the year 3114 BC, which marks the beginning of the Mesoamerican long count calendar. This was used by several pre-Columbian Mesoamerican civilizations, most notably the Mayans. On August 11, 1919, Germany's Weimar Constitution was signed into law. This is the birthday of American historian and author Alex Haley, born August 11, 1921. You may remember him as the author of Roots, which was adapted to a television miniseries back in the 70s. Alex Haley lived to the age of 70. On August 11th, 1929, Babe Ruth became the first baseball player to hit 500 home runs in his career. He did that with a home run at League Park in Cleveland, Ohio. This is the birthday of American minister and television host Jerry Falwell, born August 11th, 1933. He lived to the age of 73. The first civilian prisoners arrived at the federal prison on Alcatraz Island, August 11th, 1934. August 11th, 1942, actress Hedy Lamarr and composer George Antheil received a patent for a frequency hopping spread spectrum communication system that later became the basis for modern technologies in wireless headphones and Wi-Fi. Interesting. See, Hedy Lamarr was also a movie star, brilliant woman. This is the birthday of American journalist, author, and certified genius Marilyn Vos Savant, born August 11th, 1946. She was listed as having the highest recorded IQ in the Guinness Book of World Records. She writes an article called Ask Marilyn. On August 11, 1965, was the beginning of the Watts race riots in Los Angeles, California. And then on August 11, 1969, Apollo 11 astronauts were released from a 3-week quarantine following their liftoff from the moon. Today's song is Breaking Up is Hard to Do by Neil Sedaka, number 1, August 11, 1962. Written by Neil Sedaka and Howard Greenfield, he first recorded it in 1962 when it hit that golden number 1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100, where it held for 2 weeks. A popular song, it also hit the top 40 for artists Lenny Welch, the Partridge Family, and Neil Sedaka's second recording of it in 1975. The Lenny Welch version, as well as Sedaka's 1975 version, are slower, more heartbroken torch song versions, very different from the version we celebrate today, which is a faster paced, more almost cheerful version. Breaking Up is Hard to Do by Neil Sedaka, number 1, August 11th, 1962. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media.
Yes, please give Vicky Bowers a like, a subscribe, a share. Heather, you are so right. Facebook is not a fan of us listening to music. It's not. That doesn't go well. What's up, Roach? How are you this morning, man?
Hey, Roach.
Please.
Unmute myself here.
It happens.
So I did notice something. She forgot something today.
What's that?
Today is 10 years since Robin Williams passed away.
Oh, fudge.
I was like, oh, that's a big name right there. That's a big number.
Yeah. Dude, I was just talking about him, actually. We were talking about Mrs. Doubtfire. What a good good role. What a good role. Patch Adams. I just watched one.
I mean, he's got all of them.
What was that? Photoshop. Was it Photoshop where he was the killer? That was a really good one. He had blonde hair. It was really weird. It was like Adam Sandler doing Hidden Gems. If you ever seen Hidden Gems, that's a really good one. Yeah. It's really nice to see that. The only one that that really, like, I have to watch again was the number 23 by Jim Carrey. Because it was such an off. It's good, but it's so off. And like some characters can do the switch from, comedy to, whatever, but like some can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take James Franco seriously. I'm not going to take Seth Rogen seriously. I'm not going to take Ben Affleck seriously after he was the guy beating up Jason Lee in Mallrats. Like, come on.
Yeah.
The guy chasing the girl he could never get and chasing Amy. What else?
Welcome back, Vicky. Take 2.
Yeah. Yeah, did you see that, Roach? Supertramp got us cut off. Actually, that's a good story. Yeah, Supertramp got us cut off. We love them.
Oh, well, now I know. That one is on a list of songs that can't be played on the show.
Yeah, you know, too bad we didn't have such a bigger reach, man. Someone from Supertramp calls us, "Yo, you gonna play our song? Fuck, we give you the right. Let's go." That'd
Right?
be awesome.
Right?
Hey, man.
That's awesome. Waxy says, you will take Seth seriously.
No, I meant if he was in like a horror movie. Like, could you see
Oh,
Seth
right?
Rogen? Like, no, I'm sorry. The only thing, yeah, and then hits you in the back of the head with a bong or something. Like,
It's like Pineapple Express style right there.
Yeah. But then again, like, I don't know, some people are like Adam Sandler and Hidden Gems made me see him in a whole different light. Like, yeah. He's got another one that came out.
Deep, good deep movies.
Well, I think he's really branching out because he has such a his Happy Madison production has such a long life contract with Netflix that he can do whatever he wants now, basically. That set him up to do other things, I think, really.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus, he's got his little junior crew. He's got his grown-ups light or whatever you want to call it. All the newer, younger actors coming in. I love it. Like the guys from Father of the Year. That David Spade movie is a pretty good one. It's like Joe Dirt too, if he had a kid, pretty much.
Right?
It is like a milder suburban Joe Dirt.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Who cares about that? You need to respect the Rogan.
Oh, I love the Rogan. I'm just saying, I'm not going to see him in the next Scream movie. Trust me, I just watched Pineapple Express yesterday. I love the guy.
Right?
Wax is like, I'm calling Seth right the fuck now.
Yeah, he's like, I fucking know him, man. Oh, I love it.
I watched Jay and Silent Bob the other night.
Yeah. Dude, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I think they just took it off Netflix.
It's been a while. It's on Tubi now, I think.
Yeah, so check it out. So cameos in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Carrie Fisher playing a nun. George Collin playing the hitchhiker's got to be the best line that everybody always. If you don't say this line, I don't even know you. Got to follow the rules of the road. That's it, just like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, what's his name from Star Wars was even in it. Oh man, you know what I'm talking about. Why can't I think of it, man? That's some good weed. Shit. Good Sunday. Thanks, Beans. Take two's getting me bigger than take one.
Sorry, I was looking for a morning speaker. What is up, Coffee? I hope you're having a wonderful morning, man. I'm so sorry that you're working this morning, bro. I hope you have a good day, though.
Yeah. It's my audio.
That said morning, Coffee, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh shit, he did say good morning. I'm sorry.
Just randomly saying hello to people.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? Like, oh, there. Okay. Hey, at least it's letting him comment now.
Yeah, what was up with that? Whatever. You know me, how I am pretty wide on my Facebook reach, man. I noticed everyone's getting bans lately. Like, their lives are getting taken down. I think it's background noise, personally. Honestly, I think they got TVs in the background going, and you can hear Family Matters or like Simpsons going, and that's like a right away cut, delete.
Right, because is this some summer construction after hours? Yeah, dude, you worked last weekend too, so I mean, like,
yeah. Where's your overtime? You need that pay. Get some more dabby dabs and some blunty blunts to fill up.
Ooh, what's the work on guy? I like that.
Yeah. We had that strawberry jam strain, and then he had the strawberry cone yesterday.
Oh.
So a strawberry jam weed with the strawberry cone. I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's pretty awesome. They had those Russian ones too, the Russian cream cones, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone likes those ones, man. And then we got backwoods. We got backwoods, White Russian backwoods or something that are like that, I think. Something like that. I don't know. They were talking about making blunts illegal, so you have to buy a cigar. So what Canada did was they'll put 5 wraps around a cigar and sell it to you. Seriously, I've seen them. It's like a 5-pack.
I believe it. Make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, the double strawberry. Yeah, absolutely. That's like I got some stuff from Bria McLean there from Nova Scotia, and there was strawberry guava King Palm wraps, and goddamn, it was like it looked like I was rolling up a fruit roll up, but it smoked like a blunt. I was like, fuck, it would not go out.
That's fucking crazy.
I would totally go for any kind of King Palm wrap. I wouldn't even care the flavor. They're doing something good there. Yeah.
I've used those before. Yep.
Yeah. Easy to roll. I didn't think it was going to even stick. And then when I rolled it, I was like, oh, shit, that's fat. We got a couple of companies in Canada that were always been good. Royal blunts are always good. I forgot the other one. But brown sugar for small wraps. They're like regular sized blunts that come in a pack. Brown sugars, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Brown sugars, yeah, they're good. Lots of flavors too.
Ooh, watermelon King Palms, those sound good.
Yeah, I've had you know what? I like the original watermelon Juicy J's.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Juicy J's doing it pretty good. Peaches and cream, got to be one of the best Juicy J's ever produced with the peaches and cream. Such a good rollie, man. Then again, how many things taste like peach that taste bad?
True that. True that.
It's one thing I like my Kingpins that I got here. The peach ones are good.
What the fuck's my grinder?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy just ordering a couple boxes offline at a time. It's so much easier than going around trying to buy them from stores around here.
Yeah. Oh, Costa, you can get Juicy J's off Amazon for a hell of a good deal.
Yeah. My in-laws even started buying zigzags offline. You can get cartons for like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Smokers Outlet website that I use. It has all the ones that I like on it, and they're usually about $20 a box. So
honestly, I might start getting some of my stuff online. There's this one, I think it's called Bloom Supply or something, but they cater to British Columbia, so they keep, it's sent from Vancouver. I'm like, fuck, that's from Vancouver to me is like maybe 2 days on snail mail, maybe like 3 days tops. It's like 12 hours away. So in the mail, they'll fly it here and deliver it in a day or two. So that's not bad. I trust shit coming from the same, you know. Just fucking, I don't want to run out. You know what I mean? I know it sounds like a kind of a dickhead thing, but I just want to keep up on it, you know, because.
Yeah, I mean, when I can get 2 full boxes of 25 for what I pay for about 20 at the store.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'll just keep up with it.
Yeah. That's like those little chillum pipes I buy from the dispensary. They're $7. Okay, so you get the chillum, and it comes with 0.5 gram of really good weed already packed into it with a cap on it.
Oh, shit.
And I'm sorry, everyone's like, it's only 0.5 gram. You can't just smoke that like it's a joint. It took me like 40 minutes to smoke through one of those, just hauling on it. Like, because they pack it in there real tight.
Oh, yeah, it's packed. It's not just put in there, you know.
But the flow is good. I thought with them packing it tight, it would be like eventually the flow is perfect. And then you got to chill them. Then you got a pipe for like $7. Are you serious? So 0.5 gram of weed and a nice functioning pipe for less than $10. Fuck, I'll go do that.
Right, that ain't bad. Shit.
Shit, if I was that hurting, I'd go buy that and scrape the weed out and throw it into my bong and have a few little hoots at that. Yeah. Fuck it. It's great weed. And they got really, really good, like sativa, indica. Like, that's what I like about Canada for the certain not so government run places. They're really informative. Like when you walk in, you can tell that some of them have actually tried their own products. Oh, I had some last night. Like when you say, hey, how is this? They're like, oh, I just grabbed that. I dabbed it last night, coughed a bit, but it was a really good high. I was like, oh, okay, you actually do dab. I just can't go and buy concentrates off people who don't dab anymore. I made too many mistakes. Like, oh, you heat up your banger for 10 seconds and take a fat dab. I was like, 10 seconds? I was like, you don't even dab, do you? I was like, can I just have your job? I was like, I was like, for real, like, can I just have your job? Like, you can just go home. I'll help everybody else today.
Yeah, I'll do this. You go.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Could you imagine me in a dispensary talking about weed? Holy fuck.
Well, you want to do a smoke song and then we can just do our morning speaker this morning?
Yeah, you got one?
I do.
Nice. I'm pumped. Let's go.
Cheers, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday morning.
Hell yeah.
Bed 'cause I see you won't help me with control. I can't stop feeling you warm on my shoulders. You were like, don't let me let go. 'Cause what would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do?
Bounce.
Bad days, black thoughts, I can be focused. Tell me where to find light in the tunnel. 'Cause I see you won't help me with control. I can't stop feeling you warm on my shoulders. You were like, don't let me let go. 'Cause what would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do? 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 What would I do?
Damn it.
Did my audio go?
No, you're good.
Oh, I got you.
It's weird. I feel like I've said, you said like do not disturb on and then silent on your phone. Sometimes calls come in when we're on stream and sometimes they don't. It's weird. Like it fucks up the audio half the time. The other time it's good. So you got a good one for us today, Beans?
Oh, I think so.
Nice. You usually do. No, you always do. That clean is really good. Good. Ooh.
I figure with it being the 11th today, we should do a 9/11 story.
All right.
Ah. Ah.
Hey.
So September 11th, 2001, I was at home. I normally work a 4 to 12 shift, but it was early in the morning, so haven't reported for duty yet. I got a call from my aide, and he said, "Have you heard about the plane crash?" And I was aware it was a perfectly clear day. It was really difficult to imagine how an aircraft could strike a building on a perfectly clear day. And most people have that impression when they first heard about the crash. And so I called into our dispatch center and asked them if they needed my response. At the time, I was a chief officer, and we each had separate responsibilities, usually assigned to one of the 5 boroughs or the training academy. I was assigned to the Bronx at the time, and picked up my aide on the way in at Fort Totten, and we headed into Manhattan. The entire time we're monitoring the police frequency, the fire frequency, and of course our own EMS frequencies, listening to the progress. So we're in Queens. We get over the Kosciuszko Bridge, and we can see all of Manhattan and a huge plume of smoke rising from lower Manhattan. And the overhead electronic sign as we go past the Kosciuszko Bridge says, New York City closed. And that was kind of a frightening image to look at. And so we proceeded in monitoring all of the frequencies, and I'm trying to determine what is the best function for me at this point. Listening, there are a number of chiefs already down at the site. One more chief isn't probably going to make a lot of difference. So my training, we had all received training in the incident management system, which breaks down a large-scale incident into different sectors. So while someone is doing command, someone else is doing triage, someone else is responsible for transportation and tracking of patients, someone else is responsible for staging. So being familiar with that and listening to the activities that were going on down in lower Manhattan, I thought that the best utilization for me would be at the Brooklyn side of the Brooklyn Bridge, and I could establish a casualty collection point. So rather than having Manhattan ambulances leave the borough, they could come right to Brooklyn, drop off patients, and I could be responsible for distributing those patients onto hospitals, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, anywhere where we had to go, because Manhattan is going to be gridlocked with exiting traffic, and 2, all of the ambulances are going to have trouble getting up into Manhattan hospitals because of that. And I thought utilizing outer boroughs, maybe out of state, we could set up a medevac and transport patients out from there. So that's what I felt I would do the most good. And another chief heard me, and she responded into the same location to assist. By the time we got to the Brooklyn side, the second tower had collapsed and the radio was silent. And that was a really frightening moment, thinking that I might be one of the only 2 EMS chiefs to have survived. So at that point, I assumed command of the operation. I asked for a roll call of EMS chiefs to determine who was operational, who was not. And then I selected an EMS captain who was at my casualty collection point and asked him to go into Manhattan and do reconnaissance and determine what the status was going on over there. At this point, we didn't know anything. We didn't know who was responsible. We didn't know if this was a bomb. We didn't know if there was nuclear material there, if there was biological material. And I felt the best thing to do would be to run the operation from the Brooklyn side until we had more information. So within about a half an hour, I got a report from that captain that said things appeared to be safe, and my aide and I went, well, actually before that point, we had fire companies coming up to us looking for direction. And I asked one of the fire companies, an engine company, if they could set up a fog nozzle, which essentially is a misting spray, so that all the people who were coming over, thousands and thousands of people who were coming over the Brooklyn Bridge to get away from the incident, could at least decon themselves through the spray. And so that was actively happening. Of course, we didn't know how toxic this material was till later, but we were able to do a lot of decon from the Brooklyn side. So I proceeded into Manhattan. We always keep masks in the car, although they were basically N95 masks, nothing terrific, but better than nothing. And I got to Chambers Street and West Street, and we reestablished the EMS command post there. Most of the chief officers, EMS chief officers, had scattered, and then when word came out that we had reestablished our command post back at Chambers and West, that's where we gathered to establish a plan. One of the strangest things, we've been doing multi-casualty incidents for years and years and managing them through the incident management system, but nobody, of course, had ever dealt with anything on this scale before. We dealt with subway accidents with 100 patients, bus accidents, fires with multiple injuries, but to deal with 1,000 patients, we had done it only once before, and that was at the Trade Center in 1993, where EMS treated about 1,000 patients. Not all were transported, but we transported a good number of them. In this case, we dealt with the crews, the first two crews on the scene on 9/11 did exactly what they were supposed to do without any direction whatsoever, and that was pick up the most critical patient and transport that patient to the appropriately categorized hospital, meaning burn patients went to burn centers, replant candidates with amputations went to replant centers, trauma patients went to trauma centers. They all did exactly what they were supposed to do without direction. And that's from the drills we do, and that's from the training we do. And we were very impressed with how they worked independently without supervision. When we reestablished command post-collapse, there were almost no patients. It was a very strange environment, and that there was paper floating from the sky. There was clouds of dust, and we had to determine our strength, who was operational, who was not, in terms of ambulance crews, where was all of our equipment, what vehicles were available for transport. Many, of course, were crushed. Many of the crews were dazed. But after running for their lives, they turned around and came back to work. It was very impressive to see this group, relatively young people, coming back into the environment to do whatever they could. And we spent the remainder of the day doing exactly that, retrieving equipment, counting people, accounting for them, accounting for radios, trying to reestablish command. Probably the most frightening part was we didn't know, of course, what we know now, who was responsible, what the extent of this attack was. We felt that this could be the beginning of World War III. We didn't know. We had heard that air traffic had been shut down nationwide, yet you would hear a jet overhead and you didn't know, was that ours? Was it an enemy aircraft? Were they coming back in to finish off the first responders? It was a terrifying moment. And when I look back later, I think this was one day. People in combat do this every day for weeks and months, a year at a time. So as terrifying as it was, I give all my respect to those in the military who have to deal with this on a constant basis. Regardless, our hierarchy, many of the fire commanders have been killed in the first or the second collapse. So the people we depended on for safety decisions, for operational decisions, were no longer there. And the chief of operations, Dan Nigro, he was the one who stepped up and took over the fire operation. And from that point, we essentially ran two parallel operations: fire doing their thing with recon and rescue, and the EMS folks treating the patients that they could find and reestablishing staging areas, triage areas, treatment areas. And there was a response from the medical community where St. Vincent's Hospital, Beacon Downtown Hospital, a lot of hospitals sent staff to the site, totally unprepared, not equipped in terms of their gear. They were there just to help. As I recall, St. Vincent set up a makeshift operating room across the street, across West Street in one of the buildings, anticipating all kinds of horrendous injuries, which after the collapse, there really was none. We saw very, very few patients. It was normally you would have maybe 10% of the patients generated at an incident would be critical, and the rest would be various stages of serious and minor. We saw almost nobody post collapse, other than some respiratory injuries from the rescuers. Quite a few of those who we provided oxygen, and nobody wanted to be transported. You couldn't get a firefighter or a cop to go to the hospital. Eye injuries from the dust, but it was incredible that there were, you either made it out or you didn't. That was essentially it. And when we looked around, we found some equipment, but what you didn't see was anything substantive. You didn't see a desk or a telephone. All you saw was everything that had been in the buildings was pulverized. And so you translate that to humans, and it's clear why nobody survived, because it pulverized everything. Pulverized concrete, the force of the collapse, it's going to pulverize anything that's just tissue and bone. So we spent the next 5 months down there doing 12-hour shifts, and you would work 12 hours and then you'd be off for 12 and then have to go back in for another 12. And it was grueling. It was just, I did the overnights, and my body doesn't adjust well to midnight shifts, but we all went down, we did our part, standing by during the course of the rescue and the recovery phases. Every time we found remains, they were treated with the utmost respect. The biggest problem was on 9/11, I should say, one of the problems was the medical examiner staff had been seriously injured, and they were no longer capable of performing the task of identification and removal. So that task fell onto EMS. And EMS folks, we do deal with deceased bodies, but not on a scale like this. And this was a tremendous stress on our staff to have day after day to go in and do removals of bodies and body parts. Very, very tough on the crews. And yet you had people who volunteered and said, I will go. I want to be there to help with closure for the families. If it's a fingernail, if it's anything, we will transport. We will take care of it. And so that went on for months until they eventually shut down our operation, and it became a demolition job and a cleanup. So that's, I guess, going back to the fact that so much of the hierarchy was lost at the incident. With less experience, stepped up into the next level of command, was extremely gratifying to see that, because we all trained alike, we all knew what to do, and it was very impressive to see how well people took the new responsibilities upon themselves.
It sounds like with that whole misting operation that you saved a lot of lives just doing that, or saved some from more serious health issues, right?
Well, if you look back on it, I suppose so. It's just something that it was a trick I learned when we did a 5-borough bike tour once, when the temperature was in the upper 90s And at the very end, out in Staten Island, we had patients who were not quite at the point of heat stroke or heat prostration, but we decided we'd get the fire department to set up fog nozzles. And so I took that experience and brought it into 9/11 and said, why don't we do that here? And and it worked. And a lot of people who were just absolutely covered in this toxic dust had an opportunity to at least clean themselves off. It was a nice enough day that it wasn't cold out, so getting them wet wasn't going to compromise their health.
Let me ask you, because you were down there for months, you were there that whole day. How's your health?
Fortunately, I'm doing well. I had an experience when renovating the house where I got lead poisoning, sandblasting an old chimney. So I was aware of protective gear, using masks, and my responsibility that day was running EMS command post. I was not in charge. There were people of higher rank who were making the command decisions, but it was my responsibility to communicate all the things that transpired to the people that had to implement them, as well as to the dispatchers to keep them apprised. And if we needed additional resources, I would redeploy them from one location to another. So I don't know if I answered your question or not. But you can repeat it if I didn't.
No, that's okay. And how has it been for you with post-traumatic stress?
I think being an EMS allowed me to develop coping mechanisms. It's not a career that everybody picks or everybody survives in. So if you can develop those coping mechanisms for the daily trauma that you have to deal with, it better equips you to move forward through an incident like this. So without getting into graphic details, not everybody survives this. They do it for a year or two. We always recommend to try it as a volunteer on a community ambulance and see if it's for you, because it's not for everyone. So for me personally, I've been doing okay. Unfortunately, over the years, I've lost several friends from 9/11 illnesses. And that's probably the toughest part at this stage, that this job just doesn't end. It goes on, and every few weeks you hear about somebody else, someone you work with, a friend who was a cop, another firefighter that's gone. And I try not to think of it as a sword of Damocles hanging over our heads, that 20 years into this, hopefully it's gotten the peak it's going to get and there will be no more. But obviously, we know that's not true.
Thank you.
I love a good 9/11 story. It's so heartbreaking, but there's so many stories to be told.
The misting, they were talking about how he was setting up the water to when people were coming across the bridge and that. I know a lot about that, because that was like actually one of my jobs when we were working at the mill, was to actually keep the guys cool. I had to mist them all the time. I was like, who's hot? I just walk up to them and basically turn a fire hose on them, like mist setting, but you know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
So, he absolutely saved lives, because with that kind of situation, like he said, it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, but in that kind of situation, you can get overheated from emotions, from stress, from anything.
Yeah.
So that misting probably actually saved more people than he realized, because I know that I've stopped people from getting heat stroke and having to go to the hospital. It just happened like 2 weeks ago, and my wife took the kids to the festival. She got such bad heat stroke, I had to soak a huge towel when she got home and just cover her head in ice cold water, or she would have had heat stroke that would have put her in the hospital. But I knew what to do. Like,
super weird, like everybody says, like it was like the perfect September day. It was just like the most calm, beautiful morning ever, day ever, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, my girlfriend was living in a very small town at the time, and she walked out to her dad watching TV, and she thought it was a movie. And she's like, "Why do you keep rewinding the movie?" And he's like, "What? This is the news." And she's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
It hit her, like, because you don't think, you never wake up, go watch your TV, and be like, "Oh, wow, look what just happened," right? I missed it. I actually heard about it after. I was probably skateboarding when it happened.
Okay. Yeah, I remember I was in 6th grade when it happened, and yeah, I remember the fucking TVs, you know, like to have the racket strap on the top of the carts or whatever.
Yeah.
They wheeled one in because, like, we figured, you know, whatever, it wasn't, you know, it was national news, but they didn't think it could be like that bad.
Yeah.
And so that was like right after the first plane hit. And then, so like our classroom or whatever, we watched the second plane hit live. And then they moved everybody into the auditorium, and like it was just like a gym with bleachers on one side, and then the other side, you know, it had a big fold down screen. Yeah. And they we all went in the auditorium or whatever, and we were watching it. And when the first tower collapsed, that was when they were like, "Oh, all right," and they kind of sent us all home.
Yeah. Well, because one, like, they didn't know who did it for a while, right? So they didn't even know, like, if it was an accident or, like, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, there's so many conspiracies about it, but honestly, there's conspiracies about everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Like just go watch every episode of The Simpsons, and you'll come out a conspiracy theorist. Like,
you know, I think it's interesting that, you know, when people talk about 9/11, you know, it's like, oh, this person did it, or it was the government, or this or that, and it's like, so when the first plane hit the first tower, there was an estimated 50,000 people in both buildings. So like, dude, that's, and like roughly 3,000 people died. It was a little less than that. I don't know. It was right around there. Yeah. So that's 47,000 stories to be told that were just, and that's not even counting the people in Manhattan. And so I just think that the stories are amazing. And like everybody's story from that day should be told. And I mean, you know, like you said, you know, the conspiracy theories, absolutely. There's a lot of weird shit that happened, but like I just try not to focus on that so much.
Like, I could be a little askew on the details, but the creator of Family Guy was supposed to be on one of those planes.
Yep. Michael Jackson was supposed to be on one of those planes. There's it's craziness.
And he's like, I slept in, or like I was hungover. Like, it's a total accident too. It wasn't like Seth's story was totally genuine. He's like, yeah, like, that was an accident. Like, I missed my flight. Like,
there was a story I was listening to the other day, just this week, and these two guys or whatever, one buddy went up to the other buddy and was like, hey, do you want, you know, like their shift started at like 9, I think, or 10 or whatever it was, 9, I think it was. Yeah. And they were like, hey, let's go down and smoke a cigarette quick before our day starts. And so they went down and it saved their lives.
That's crazy. Like, yeah, and you gotta understand that there was people just there when the planes hit, so they like looked up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and they were like, snap. There's videos of people like down the street from it.
There was a lady who, she was struck by a piece of landing gear, and it like hit her right in the back, and it like, no shit, like cut part of her back and her ass and everything. She survived.
Damn.
And then the very, very first firefighter killed on 9/11 was killed by a jumper.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
so then there was another story of another guy who when he got to work or whatever, he saw this bird somewhere, and it was like this injured bird, and he went up to his office or whatever. He didn't pay no attention to it. Went up to his office, but like he kept thinking about this bird, and then one of his buddies had said something about running down to whatever ground floor to grab something. He's like, oh, I'll do it. Because then he's like, I'm gonna fucking take this bird and put it in the bushes or something like that, you know. Yeah. And he went down, and that shit saved his life. Yeah. Good morning, Cody Koff. How are you, man? Hope you have a wonderful morning. Cody? Yeah, it's just wild stories. It's, you know, I know, you know, like a lot of people think of like the big investment people and stuff like that, but like on the very, very top floors of the North Tower was Windows on the World. It was like one of the nicest restaurants ever, and like there were like normal folk like myself up there dishwashing or whatever the case was. That, you know, and there was only fucking a handful of survivors from the strike zone or above, and so like everybody, and like I couldn't even imagine just like going into prep work, because I've worked in kitchens forever, and that's it, you know what I mean? Like,
well, and then it's not just that, it's after the plane, I don't remember for a second, the building actually caught on fire, so, and the fire exits were blocked for some of the people.
Yeah, the way that the fucking building was built and the way the plane, it fucked everybody. Good morning, Chance. How are you, man? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Oh, shit, it's 4:20.
Oh, it is. I just had one. I was on time. Y'all's late.
Fuck.
See? You're on Mad Bear time now. No, you're not. He's like, I was ready.
Can you believe one marijuana plant is worth $1,000? In California, biggest farm state in the union, marijuana is the biggest cash crop. The biggest.
This is some of the best in the world. It'll compete with any of the finest pot grown anywhere on the face of the earth. I'm sure of that.
Y'all got your shovels? Can y'all dig it? Rockin' with the Northern Cali Outlaws. We coming to plant, coming to grow, doing it big. Got all my seeds, got me a shovel, I'm ready to dig. How I was raised, clippers in hand since I was a kid. Put in the work, put in the time, all that I did. I earned my stripes, heard the sirens, seen the lights, felt the cuffs up on my wrist. Hard for me to sleep at night. Paranoia, I can't shake it, so I keep my circle tight. Chosen few, I call my crew, we rendezvous at secret sites. I'm walking the thinnest sights, but never breaking the surface. Freedom I sacrifice, still it's part of my purpose. Peas up in the trunk, rollers past, they getting me nervous. The eagle lands, I crack the seal up on the dank and surface. I'm an outlaw from the first plant that I ever grew. If my crop could talk, you'd hear some things you never knew. Got that AAA sticky goo, that's gon' bust your lung. Ganja farmer from Cali, still cultivating with the sun. Rollers, they hoping they catching me slip, want me to fall, but no one ever will loosen my grip. Holding the ball, shovel I'm digging, I grow and I clip. Give it my all. Ganja farmer, cultivated, doja, grow it outlaw.
As marijuana production grows, so too the efforts to stop it at the center of the action on the hills in Northern California.
First time I popped a seed, I knew that I could take a fall. I'll break the law, then shake them all. Escape with dank and make the call. My homies need it, always weed it. Speeding down the road with greenness. Dank up in my pocket, rollers watching, wanting me defeated. An outlaw from day O-N-E. We blaze that sensi till my jar's empty. Yo, we don't tempt me. This dank I got is sure to bust your L-U-N-G. Don't think so, bet we got more than you can imagine, gotta respect it. The way these ganja farmers get down, man, it gets hectic. Harvest season, cleaning, chopping, clipping, trimming, tagging, bagging, hanging, drying, back to back, and none of this was up in metric. When I first stepped into the game, a criminal's what they saw. I'm living like an outlaw, with plants 10 foot tall. You know I give it my all, every crop that I sow. Ask me will I stop, never know. Long as the sun's shining, I'ma grow. Rollers, they hoping they catching me slip, want me to fall, but no, I never will loosen my grip. Holding the ball, shovel I'm digging, I grow and I clip. Give it my all. Ganja farmer, cultivated, doja, grow it outlaw. Still cultivating with the sun. This dope I grow will bust your lung. This is my land, I'll never run. I've been an outlaw from day one. Still cultivating with the sun. This dope I grow will bust your lung. This is my land, I'll never run. I've been an outlaw from day one.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful morning. Bam Bear's dying.
That's why I mute.
So, what has everybody got going on today? We got duck racing this afternoon. I think we'll dive into a little bit of Aquaspeed Racing Network segment here in a little bit. And then I'm super excited for duck racing this afternoon.
Webster Featherstone.
Webster Featherstone.
I remembered it. It was right.
It was right. Yeah. That is his name.
Who says I don't have a memory with the things that happened in the past with the words?
Okay.
Ooh, I found a roach. Ooh, piece of candy. Piece of candy. Come on, man. You got to admit, when James Woods was on Family Guy, those were some good episodes. And I've got James Woods, too.
I haven't seen Family Guy forever, but I always loved the James Woods parts of Family Guy. He fucking...
He's a naturally funny man. Come on.
Or the Adam West, absolutely. I love Adam West.
Oh, and then what's his name when he passed away and his brother taking over, being Sam Elliott? Oh, I'm Wild West. Best.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was good.
Like the deepest voice ever. He took helium once and it still didn't even change his voice.
Or like the fucking boomerang muscle. It's like he's like Chuck Norris of the West.
Yeah. He did I saw the funniest thing. He was like under the ocean and he was wearing the whole diver's kit, but he still had the freaking cowboy hat on. I was like, yes.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, other than that, just kind of hanging out. Got the European again this morning.
Right. Europeanigans, right. He comes once a week.
All right.
Right.
Right. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Europe's only an hour away from me, isn't he? And then you're 2, and then Coffee's 3.
Yep.
I gotta write this shit down. I gotta like put it over here on the wall and be like, okay, Beans is Sir Coslot time, Europe time. I'm not even gonna go with time zones. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Hope you're enjoying our nice, relaxing show. It was a really good 9/11 story. Like you said, there's how many? Thousands and thousands.
So many.
And I mean, it's, and I don't want everyone to think that we put that stuff on to be sad. It's something that needs to be remembered, and that's why it was made into a memorial walking park where the towers were, right? You know, and true story. My brother, just quick little vamp here. He went there right after and before the park was built, but they were still cleaning up debris. And he said they had the fence around it, right? You know, and it had everyone's picture on it and stuff. He said he walked up there and just started crying because the emotion of that day and he's, you know, he wasn't trying to be funny, but he's like, there will be spirits and ghosts there forever. Like you feel the energy. And I felt that when he said that to me, I was like, oh yeah, brother. Like,
I'm a firm believer in, you know, it's super sad, and it's like, but like that doesn't make it any less. Or I'm a firm believer in the never forget. That shit's wild, dude.
Yeah. Fuck all the
war shit, fuck all the political shit, whatever. Never forget, there's so many people that were affected from that day.
Yeah, it changed the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's, you know, they say like that's one of the days the world changed, and fuck yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm scared to go to an airport just because of like TSA and all that, and like how many border shows came out after 9/11 now. There's like 7 different border security shows. Like nobody wants to cross the border right now, and I just had a family who did, and they didn't have a problem. So I was like, oh.
I remember, so my brother left for basic training that June, and I remember going to the airport with him, going up to the terminal and like watching him board his plane and getting on, and then that was the last time I ever saw that. You know what I mean? Like, because after that, you couldn't go past security. Yeah.
And then me, so I was born in 83. I've been traveling on planes since like, oh God, 91, 92. So when I was a boy, my mom lived, you know, in Toronto, and I had to fly to Eastern Canada like every summer if I wanted to visit my mom. So I did. And yeah, there wasn't security. Like it was I got walked onto the plane kind of by the flight attendants and walked off the plane by the flight attendants, but there wasn't security really. I mean,
yes, absolutely, Amber. I mean, so many people. It had nothing to do with me, and like it affected, I feel like it changed the world. It affected everybody.
And personally, I think it is offensive to say that didn't offend you, even if you weren't there, because I wasn't there. And honestly, I kind of had that attitude at first. I was like, yeah, so what? I did, and I was young and immature when it happened, and I was like, what, 17? Of course I was ignorant about it. No offense, what 17-year-old isn't ignorant?
Right, absolutely.
But now I would never ever say that again. If I could go back, I would be like, wow, that's
I would never wish that, like, what happened on 9/11 upon anybody.
Yeah.
Because of, or you know what I mean, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's sad, because like it is looked at as like one whole major event, but it's like it kind of goes back to the so many stories deal. Like in a way, it was one major event individually for everybody in a sense. I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, it's crazy how one, like, I don't want to say single event because that wasn't exactly but you know what I mean, like
absolutely.
How that one day, like we said, changed so much, not just from the airport, but how people think about people, how people, how people don't want to go on planes now. There's so many people that got PTSD just from watching that news. Like,
if I was to recommend any 9/11 documentaries for anybody to check out in their free time, The Man in the Red Bandana, that dude is incredible. I don't remember his name right offhand. If I do,
we'll find out the info for you.
But he was a volunteer firefighter, and like he always had this bandana in his pocket since he was a kid because his dad had this bandana or whatever. And so, like when the tower struck, it just happened, or when the planes hit, he just happened to have this bandana, and he put it on, and like he went up and down 3 times helping people down, and like he was up when it collapsed and he lost his life. But like, and then the I think it's like the lady who wasn't there. It's about this lady who like was in Mexico, and like she helped build one of the biggest 9/11 organizations, and like because she claimed that she's a horrible person, claimed that she was there and that her husband died on 9/11 and this whole bullshit story, and like she wasn't even in the fucking country, dude.
You're talking about the crisis actor?
Yeah, she was just a fraud. It wasn't like an actor or actress in it. She was just a fucking fraud. Wow.
Yeah. It happened a lot, and it always happens when these big events turn out. There's always somebody who tries to take advantage of it because it's easy to realize that there's a lot of people that will just like, oh, someone needs help. Here's my PayPal account, bam, and then all of a sudden your money's gone. What happened? I thought it was $10. Oh, you were supposed to put decimal points in. They just took $1,000 from me.
And it's really sad because she did help build, one of the bigger 9/11 or foundations or whatever, and like she wasn't in it for the money. She just wanted like the fame of being one of the big 9/11 survivors, and she claimed that the man in the red bandana had helped her down. Well, like his parents had made it a point to meet each one of the people that he had saved, and like they'd never heard of this lady, and so on and so forth. And they dug more and more into it, and they realized that like she was a fucking fraud. All right, let's do Aqua Speed Racing Network.
I'm just grabbing coffee. I'm still here.
Thank you, Amber. Wesley, Wells Crowley. Wells Crowther. That's an amazing documentary about him. As many as 18 lives. Yep. Thank you, Amber. That's awesome. I bet. Let me see if I can grab the. That should come through, hopefully. Maybe not. There it is. Yeah, there's the full documentary. It's a very, 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 very good documentary. I highly recommend watching it. That dude's a fucking hero. All right.
Good Sunday morning, duck racing fans. I'm Webster Featherstone, welcoming you back to Aquaspeed Racing Net. I'm Webster Featherstone, welcoming you back to Aquaspeed Racing Network on this fine race day. The sun is shining, the misty marsh is looking as challenging as ever, and our feathered competitors are ready to give it their all in today's races. We've got an exciting afternoon lined up, with 3 high-stakes races that will test the speed, strategy, and endurance of our top ducks. Here's a look at the starting grids for each race. A main race. First position, Zigzag Zoomer. Second position, Mother Featherly. Third position, Ganja Glider. Fourth position, Power Paddler. Fifth position, Ashen Ashley. Sixth position, Smoking a Sally. Seventh position, Treasure Tilly. Eighth position, Aqua Quacker. Ninth position, Valiant Vera. 10th position, Swift Swimmer. The A main race is the crown jewel of today's events, featuring the top qualifiers from each team. All eyes will be on Zigzag Zoomer and Mother Featherly as they battle for supremacy, but don't count out the smooth moves of Ganja Glider or the brute force of Power Paddler. B main race. First position, Jester Jive. Second position, Mother Gooseberry. Third position, Captain Dank Duke. Fourth position, Captain Brawny Beak. Fifth position, Silver Slasher. Sixth position, Captain Bubbling Blaze. Seventh position, Pirate Pete. Eighth position, Surfing Scott. Ninth position, Gallant Gabby. 10th position, Fleet Flow. In the B main race, the competition is just as fierce. With captains like Dank Duke and Brawny Beak leading the charge, it's anyone's guess who will take the top spot. And keep an eye on Silver Slasher and Pirate Pete, they've got the skills to pull off an upset. C main race. First position, Quirky Quackers. Second position, Mother Nurture. Third position, Chill Quacker. Fourth position, Buff Bill. Fifth position, Cloudy Corey. Sixth position, Drift in Danny. Seventh position, Sailor Sam. Eighth position, Captain Wave Rider. Ninth position, Heroic Hank. 10th position, Captain Rapid Ripple. Finally, in the C main race, we've got a lineup full of wildcards. Quirky Quackers is known for surprising everyone, and Heroic Hank will be pushing hard to prove his worth. But don't forget about Captain Rapid Ripple. This seasoned captain has the experience to navigate the challenging Misty Marsh with precision. It's going to be an action-packed afternoon here at Aquaspeed Racing Network. So grab your snacks, settle in, and get ready for some of the most exciting duck racing you've ever seen. The races start at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You won't want to miss a second of it.
Oh, yes, I'm fucking excited.
What time was it? Sorry, I just
4:30. Well, the show will start at 4, and then the races will start at 4:30.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah. That was Spirit, the devil cat. No, she's awesome.
She's cute.
That's the alpha. She literally walked into the house and she's like, nah, get in the back of the line, other kitties. They wait behind her while she eats, and there's 2 bowls of food.
That's great.
Yeah.
I recommend Cheese and Quackers. That's fucking great, Amber.
Yeah.
So yeah, there will be the three races, and then there will be a 4th race where all 30 ducks will compete against each other. For the top 10 ducks will get points. So I'm excited. It should be cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really know a whole lot. The York Canadians at 9:13 Mountain Standard Time, so it'll be about an hour and a half or so from now.
Yeah. So 8:13 my time.
Yep.
See, I still gotta ask.
Yep. No, you're good. It's been a pretty chilling morning, but I know probably smoke more and call it a morning show. I really don't have a whole much else going on. Yeah. Kind of hang out and work on some things around here, get everything ready for duck racing, and get ready for another week in the Cove. I'm pretty sure there's yoga in the morning, but I do got to ask Miss Bina and make sure. So I'm going to say like 60%, maybe.
Yeah. But I know what Tuesday's bringing.
Tuesdays.
Token
Tuesdays. Yes, Tuesday night. Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Well, and on Monday I have the Stoner Roulette trophy, so hopefully I can keep that bitch on Monday.
No,
probably not.
No. I thought you lost it. Did you win it?
No, I got it on Friday.
Right. But what about last night?
I got it on Wednesday. I'm sorry. And so
Wednesday.
Yeah, I got it on Wednesday, so I have it until Monday.
Oh, okay.
And then Ashley is our Stoner Roulette champion from last night.
The 5-time Stoner.
Yeah, the 5-time Stoner Roulette. Chronic Crusaders are our dodgeball gold medal winners from yesterday, so that's good. They deserved a good win for sure. I got to go through all the points in that and figure out where everybody's at on that deal. I know a lot of jostling around the middle of the pack there. I don't know. It should be a good week. I'm excited. Excited. So, all right, Mr. Manbear, I'll let you go ahead and say your farewells, and then we'll smoke one last one.
Thanks for joining us on the Cove this morning. Thanks, Beans, for having me out, man. Great show. Great speaker. Honestly, really enjoyed the 9/11 story. I think we should do another one next morning, but that's up to you, obviously. I love it. Great speaker today. Really, really loved it. Make sure you are following Cove TV, Michael Hugo Manbear, because I am spreading the Canna Fam love. And anything you guys do want to spread around, you can message me and I will. And make sure you tune into the Zen Wushu and Southern Nerd Bell show every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You will catch my Canna Community News Network Anchorman show there, and I will talk about anything you guys want. And back to you, Beans.
Much love, Manbear. I always love having you come up, man. Yeah, great morning speaker. I figure it was the 11th. We're a month away from 9/11, so it's a good morning. It's a good morning for a good morning speaker. Very powerful story. I think that all of the 9/11 stories are amazing, and if I had time and means to, I would listen to and tell every one of them. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Sunday morning. Again, yes, if you are not following Mr. Michael Hugo, please do. He is the knower of all things, basically in our Canna Fam community that reaches out to so many other Canna Fam communities. And so, if absolutely, if you know something cool that you think he should cover, please reach out to him or anybody from the Cove. We can get you in contact. Your shenanigans this morning be 11:13 Eastern time. Yes. So make sure that you guys are around for that. It's a great, great morning show. I love hanging out. We just kind of chill, bullshit, get high, nothing too crazy. And duck racing this afternoon, everybody. I hope to see everybody there. And other than that, have a wonderful, wonderful morning. And cheers or something like that.
Cheers? Yeah, I think cheers is good. Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah. Much love, everybody. Much love.
You rock this day like nobody else, and we'll see you this afternoon. We'll see you on the Nerf Gannigan. You know, it's all good. Jerk off a lot. I love you, brother. You have a good day, too.
Running circles everywhere. Never had a place to call on. Then you came and saved the day. You're the one I follow anywhere. I could be the one to take your breath away. You're the one I follow anywhere. You kill all my sorrow, showing me the way. 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 You're the one I follow anywhere. I could be the one to take your breath away. You're the one I follow anywhere. You kill all my sorrow, showing me the way. Showing me the way. Showing me the way. All this time I felt so hollow. Running circles everywhere. Never had a place to call on. Then you came and saved the day. You're the one I follow anywhere. I
Bye, everybody. Much love.